Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars, and welcome to my review for the 2018 horror thriller Matriarch, a film that is written and directed by Scott Vickers, and it stars Charlie Blackwood as Rachel Hopkins, we have Julie Hernan as Agnes, we have Scott Vickers as Matt Hopkins, and that is the Scott Hopkins who directed and wrote the film, and we also have Alan Cuthbert. Now, this is a British horror stroke thriller that, to be honest, I'd not heard of. I'd not heard an awful lot about it, and I saw someone do a review last week, I think it was, for it, and I thought, well, this sounds pretty interesting. And this focuses on a young couple. The wife is heavily pregnant, they're out in the countryside driving along, and they have an accident, they crash the car. So they're both okay, they get out of the car and they go looking for help, and the first place they stumble across is like this farmhouse, completely offset on its own, away from everything else. And initially the farmer is not interested, or tells him to get off his land, and is pretty aggressive about it. And then he discovers that she's heavily pregnant. So his attitude changes immediately. He calls Agnes, his wife, who herself is not very nice, and then when she realises she's pregnant, they're all very nice. They invite them into their home, they feed them, they let them stay the night, they promise the morning after they're going to phone for help, etc, etc. And you know, this family is really weird. They've got two grown-up sons who act really weird, don't say a lot, and they have a really uncomfortable meal, and then the following morning, well, it all goes pretty badly wrong, and this family turns out to be a family of complete and utter psychopaths who want this baby all to themselves. And when they realise this young couple, they try and leave, and then just as they're about to leave, her waters break, so things become pretty bad pretty quickly. Right, so that's all I really want to say about this story here. Now then, what did I think of Matriarch? Well, I have to say I was really pleasantly surprised by this film. A really well made film with some really tremendous performances, chief of which by the lead actress Charlie Blackwood, who plays Rachel. I just thought she was absolutely outstanding in this lead role as this mother who loses everything, and desperately just wants to be with her baby, isn't allowed, and you could just feel the emotion. And anyone who's a parent watching this will feel, especially a mother, will feel this connection, and I think the actress does an absolute tremendous job. And then twinned with the performance by Julie Hernan as Agnes, this seriously creepy farmhouse wife, and I'm not kidding, she gives a really creepy performance here. It really makes your skin crawl. In fact, all the family does. The two sons, the farmer's husband, but the farmer's wife, I mean Agnes, she's just properly mental. I'm not kidding. And when I found this film to be absolutely claustrophobic and horrific, and there's a scene in this film where you'll understand what I mean when I mean claustrophobic. It's pretty terrifying, and if you are claustrophobic, you'll really struggle with that scene. I think this film also had a tremendous ending as well. It doesn't give you everything that you want. It doesn't pander, but it gives you an ending with a supernatural twist that I didn't see coming, and I just thought it was outstanding. A really, really clever way to finish the film. It's not to say this film is perfect. It does have a couple of issues. There's a scene where the husband is confused, running through a forest, trying to find out where this farm is, and he finds these campers who are high on weed. And it kind of goes down a dodgy road. It tries to be a bit funny. These campers are a bit funny, and then he's pleading for help from these campers, and he's getting nothing back, and it just plays out a bit weird. And that was the only part of the film that stood out to me that didn't work particularly well. The rest of it, I thought, was really cleverly made and cleverly constructed on probably a very small budget. I mean, the vast majority of this film was just in this farm, on this farm, and in this farmhouse, and in a barn. or in the look, the feel surrounding it. And it goes to show what you could do with a good director, some good writing, and some good actors on board. And everybody here, I would like to say, really delivers. But like I say, the lead actress, Charlie Blackwood, I just think she was brilliant. Really stood out in the central performance, and she carries this film really well. And you will feel for her throughout this film, that what she has to go through emotionally, physically, would break most people, and it's not an easy watch in regards to that aspect, in regards to watching the film. So yeah, this was a really nice, pleasant surprise, I have to say. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I thought I would, and I must admit, when it started and I realised it was like a British horror, my heart sank a little bit, because sometimes they can really mess these things up. But they nailed it, absolutely nailed it. Perfect setting, really good writing, good direction, and great performances by everybody. So this was a real surprise for me. And even though it's a 2018 film, it's just getting its release now. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, only because I was so entertained by it. And I really found the ending to be a nice, pleasant surprise as well. So yeah, I do recommend you checking this one out, guys. Matriarch, it's definitely worth a watch. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.